Many of our troops serving in far-off lands died this year. Nearly 500 American men and women were killed in Iraq and Afghanistan. We cannot show them all, but we do remember and thank them all. Dr. Michael DeBakey was a lifesaver. Many consider him the greatest surgeon ever. Heartfelt thanks to you, Dr. DeBakey. Israel Cachao Lopez was one of the great masters of Latin music. He gave us the mambo. Can't help but tap your feet to the rhythms of Cachao.
Thank you.
On the subject of tapping your feet, watch this. That's Jimmy Slide. So smooth, so rhythmic. For 6 decades on the stage, no one could glide quite like Jimmy Slide. And no one could wail quite like Johnny Griffin. Lightning fast on his tenor sax, Johnny Griffin was one of the best jazzmen of his generation.
There's a big similarity to me between photography and jazz.
William Claxton took pictures of the famous and the fashionable. But mostly he shot the music makers.
Photography is jazz for the eye.
Bill Claxton gave a face to music. Isaac Hayes was the man. With songs like the theme from Shaft, he helped define soul. Isaac Hayes was always cool. Sid Charisse was hot. Trained as a ballerina, she found her footing in Hollywood as a star of Technicolor musicals. Beautiful dynamite. That's what Fred Astaire called her. Eartha Kitt was a dynamite performer.
Santa baby, just slip a sable under the tree for me.
She was sultry, stylish, often outspoken, and always exciting.
Wow.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
It was much too soon to say goodbye to Heath Ledger.
Why don't you just let me be, huh?
He took center stage just a short while ago and exited this year.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Leaving us only a glimpse of what might have been.
Behold his mighty hand.
Charlton Heston could command the screen like no other, as Moses and Ben-Hur and El Cid. He was a crusader off-screen, too. He fought for civil rights in the 60s.
From my cold, dead hands.
Then later for the rights of gun owners as head of the NRA. We said goodbye to him this year.
I'll forgive, but please don't you forget.
Who could forget that country crooner? Eddie Arnold. Billboard magazine ranked him the most popular country artist of all time. Talk about popular. Earl Hagen may have been the most whistled composer of all time. He wrote the theme to The Andy Griffith Show and scores of other TV hits. Night after night on television, they made us laugh so.
What are you doing, Rose?
Oh, I was just going through the change.
Well, that explains the puffiness.
Estelle Getty, that silver-haired golden girl with the tart tongue.
Who ate my chicken?
Bernie Mac, the irascible king of comedy.
Bob?
Suzanne Plachette.
Are there sometimes you'd rather be single?
The TV wife everybody loved.
Hello.
Harvey Korman, the second banana who was first rate. And Laugh-In's Dick Morton.
Say goodnight, Dick.
Good night, Dick.
Good night, everybody.
He always left us laughing.
Don't tell me there's never anything on television
There's always something on television, and some of it may be better than we deserve.
John Leonard was a man of many words, every one of them well chosen. He wrote 5 million published words by his own reckoning, and was our resident critic and cultural arbiter here at Sunday Morning for 16 years, guiding us on what to read and what to watch. And when the right words were hardest to come by after 9/11, John Leonard could find them.
Terror wants derangement, but it didn't get it. Horror, certainly. All of us had fallen from 100 stories, and yet we gathered our bodies and our thoughts. And when we went home, we were not terrified. Like a serious book instead of a television movie, we were just a lot more complicated.
Goodbye to you, dear friend, and thank you. Thank you to so many wordsmiths who left us this year. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, imprisoned, then exiled. Yours was a moral voice for Russia, exposing the horrors of the Gulag. Harold Pinter, in Play After Play, you gave us pause to think about the complexities of everyday life. David Foster Wallace, the greatest writer of your generation, some say, you took us to a world of brilliance and imagination and infinite jest. And Michael Crichton, you turned science into fascinating fiction and brought dinosaurs to life with Jurassic Park. Making those dinosaurs look alive was the job of Stan Winston. He made aliens and teddy bears and Terminators too. A special effects wizard, that's what he was.
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah.
Richard Nurr and his schoolboy buddy had a brilliant idea. They called it the hula hoop. Their company, Wham-O, produced 100 million of them. Another of their toys that really took off? Yes, the Frisbee. Betty Page took it all off. She was the pin-up queen of the 1950s and one of the first centerfolds.
How are you?
Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I begged you to get some therapy.
Director and actor Sidney Pollack called himself Mr. Mainstream.
Good.
For his popular films like Tootsie and Out of Africa. His friend George Clooney said Sidney made the world a little better, movies a little better, and even dinner a little better. Levi Stubbs and his friends were in high school in Detroit when they began singing together.
Just look over your shoulder.
They didn't stop for more than 40 years. With Levi in the lead, the Four Tops became a driving force of Motown. The top of Mount Everest was unreachable, everyone thought, until Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reached it in 1953, the first to scale the tallest peak in the world. We said goodbye to Sir Edmund Hillary this year. And we said goodbye to Randy Pausch, the college professor who gave his last lecture about embracing life, even as he faced death.
We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the hand.
His talk to a lecture hall of 400 reached millions on the internet, then millions more as a best-selling book, reminding us about what matters most.
It's not about how to achieve your dreams. It's about how to lead your life.
They led their lives exceedingly well and left us this year with gifts and moments and memories we'll cherish. We thank them all and say hail and farewell.